when Nate did this talk at Black Hat, he did a very interesting hack. So Wikipedia has a CSRF article, and he used dynamic cross-site request forgery to update Wikipedia, which was vulnerable to CSRF, and add dynamic cross-site request forgery to the Wikipedia post on CSRF. So that was pretty cool. And then what he did is he redirected you to a video on YouTube. So he pulled off the attack. It's going on in the background. There's just a momentary delay, and then you get redirected to Benny Lava on YouTube. And if you haven't seen Lava Rolling yet, Lava Rolling has now replaced Rick Rolling, you know, from Rick Astley. You guys know what Rick Rolling is, right? Okay, good. So we're not doing that anymore. That's played out. We're doing Lava Rolling now. So go check out Benny Lava on YouTube. It's hilarious. All right, so I don't have access to YouTube, so what I'm going to do is kind of just redirect you to an image that I have running on MAMP here. All right, so that'll be my friendly redirection. And then the other thing that I wanted to show you here is you can see these are all the elements of my request right here. And I'll show you that again as well. I've got something else to show you. That right here. So this is the actual request. You can see ether.cgi is the vulnerable file. And then this is the post data right here. And you can see all the elements are in here. We've got the PD address is one of the numerals for the DNS servers. All right, back to the presentation. All right, so this is the whole setup, and you've kind of already seen my desktop because I've been switching back and forth, but we've got MAMP up in the top left-hand corner there. MAMP is acting like some web server on the internet for us. The shell running, the terminal running at the top right there, that's where MonkeyFist is running. And then I've got the Firefox is open at the bottom right with the Netgear router open, and the, well, what used to be the bad site where I clicked the bad malicious link, but it's already been redirected in the screenshot to my friendly page. And then I've got Smoltron showing you the payloads file at the bottom left over there. All right, and at the end of the day, we are going to successfully own this router. I thought this was interesting. I found this shot after I was doing some more research. I wanted to see just how insecure this thing was, and it's got a pile of vulnerabilities. I was going to report them to Netgear, but as you can see, it's been end of life, so there was hardly any point in that. So, countermeasures for cross-site request forgery. Number one, you have to use a unique per user, per session, per request token. Okay? Not on every request, just on the ones that are sensitive. So if you're a trading company and you do stock trades and those types of things, those are the pages that you want to protect with these devices, okay? Invalidate your tokens after a reasonable period of time, otherwise there's no point in doing it. And maybe, just maybe, you should require authentication for super sensitive actions or transactions that may be happening on your web application, okay? Because, you know, as I've talked about with MonkeyFist, there's really no way to stop this now. I mean, the hacks are very, very difficult to pull off, and they require a very skilled person to do it, but it is possible. So, you know, at the end of the day, if you really have some assets that you need to protect, I recommend authentication, even though it's not the most user-friendly thing to do. Okay, you guys ready for the live demo? All right, here we go. So, once again, this is the request and response. This is how I did the research to figure out what the request should look like. I've got my payloads file right here. It's all ready to go. You can see that I'm going to change the DNS servers to 4111.4222. Here's my MAMP. So I'm going to log in. So let me talk about the router for just a second. So there actually is a mitigating control on here. And I own 4 different routers, and every single one of them is vulnerable to this, by the way. Except for the Linksys WAP that I have now, and that's because I'm running DDWRT on there. DDWRT was also vulnerable to this at one point, but those guys are very responsive, as most FOSS developers are, right? So they've fixed those problems. So it's actually the only secure router I have in my house right now, and it's running a non-standard firmware. So, so this thing actually has a timeout of 5 minutes. So by default, the admin logs in, he or she does his thing, and it's going to invalidate the session after 5 minutes. So the trick to pulling off CSRF is obviously you have to have an active session on the application. So in this case, Netgear did a good thing because we've got a 5-minute window or period of opportunity to actually exploit this user. When I first started doing this, I was increasing that because I was having some issues, as you normally do with live demos, but now I've got it down, so I don't typically reset the limit to higher. So I'm just going to let it stay 5 minutes. So as you can see, right here, the DNS servers are currently 000. All right. Also notice that the way that I'm getting to the router is from routerlogin.com. An interesting thing happened the first time I actually did the full attack in front of a live audience. I discovered something that I don't know how I missed during the research, but somehow I missed it. It's pretty interesting. Anyway, we'll get to that in a moment. So here in my shell, I've got MonkeyFist running. He's running on port 8000. He actually has a self-contained web server as well. So you can actually put MonkeyFist on an internet-facing server and have a ball exploiting everybody. The cool thing about MonkeyFist is you can have multiple payloads. You can have an unlimited number of payloads. So if I wanted to set up payloads for Yahoo, Facebook, Twitter, I could set them all up, right? And then I can go and create one post on some forum or bulletin board or Usenet group or whatever, and I can exploit everybody that's logged into any one of those applications that I've created a payloads file for. So pretty powerful stuff. And then we got MAMP here, and he is hosting our CSurf page. Let's see, let's make sure that I'm still logged in. So we're still logged in, we're good to go. So I'm logged into my router, I'm out on the internet, I'm checking out some stuff. I come across bad.com, and there's something irresistible here that I just have to click. So I'm going to click on that, momentary delay, and then I get redirected to a friendly page. This is Nate's blog, so you can go out here, you can download his dynamic cross-site request forgery paper there, and you can also, MonkeyFist is being hosted on Google Code now. It is FOSS, so if you guys are Python hackers and you want to help contribute and make MonkeyFist even more powerful than it is today, then obviously we'd love to have you help us out with that. So we're looking at an innocuous page right now. Let's go back and see what our router looks like. I'm just going to refresh just like I've been doing, and I'm loading. It's not going to load. Can anybody tell me why it's not going to load? Oh, it shouldn't have loaded. Okay, so it shouldn't have loaded. And the reason that it shouldn't have loaded is because it only had a record for router login because it was the authoritative server. So once I changed that, I shouldn't have been able to get to it from the URL. I should have had to put in the IP address, and I don't know why it worked this time. But nevertheless, we can see that the hack was successful. So we have just drive-by farmed this user. We now control every place that they go on the internet. We know what their bank is. We can put up a fake bank site and harvest their creds and then go steal their money. Any questions? Did you like the talk? Did you like the attack? Do you want to go home and play with MonkeyFist? All right, great. That's the end of the talk, guys. Thanks very much for coming. I hope you enjoyed it.